Good evening, everyone. Two women, two different generations, and two very different journeys, but both driven by that one urge to carve their own niche, tied by that common love for theatre and cinema, and at the core, rooted to their city of birth, Amchi, Mumbai. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Renuka Shahane, who besides her incredible talent as an actor, director, and screenwriter, has been slaying effortlessly with that gorgeous smile.
Thank you so much.
And the very gifted and gorgeous Shriya Pilgaonkar, who from her very first film and now multiple OTT outings is a talent that everyone is raving about. Welcome to News18, Shri Shakti.
Thank you so much.
To start with both of you, the city of Mumbai is called the dream city. People come here. You are born and brought up here. Does that in any way change the dynamics? And how has the city shaped you, your dreams, your achievements? What has been your take on it?
Well, actually, being born in Mumbai is such a huge blessing. And I feel that in two ways it has really helped me a lot. A, because from childhood one has seen such a lot of working women all around. It's not a rare thing to see women go to work, come back very late at night. Correct. There's a sense of safety and security while we were traveling to, whether it was school, college, work at odd hours. Especially in our industry, we worked till very late sometimes, and I used to travel by whatever was available, taxis, trains, buses. And I have, of course, one experiences, iffy sort of experiences, but basically, I never thought of myself as a woman while I was working in Mumbai or studying in Mumbai. And I have to give you this example of going to, I apologize to all the Delhiites here. I went to Delhi when I was 14.
Right.
And to visit my cousins there. And I just, casually said, let's go out in the evening and, have fun, because daytime was quite pretty hot. And everybody looked at me as if I was some sort of alien and said that, we can't, like as a group of girls, we'll have to wait for somebody who is, adult to accompany us. And this was completely new to me. And I realized, that was the first time I realized that things are different in other parts of India as compared to Mumbai. So there are something which we take for granted, which has helped me immensely as a working woman, as a studying woman. That sense of safety which I think Mumbai has offered. And also the fact that it's not rare to see a lot of working women out here. So it's like taken for granted that, yes, So in that sense, it is a city of dreams for women. It definitely is.
Kam pe to jana hi hai.
Yes, Ani. The main thing being that the more women you see in the workforce or around you, going, traveling, doing things outside the house, you realize that, things are different in Mumbai. There is a soul and spirit of Mumbai which is different to other places. And it's a very, very important thing for, I think, all of us.
Shreya, has it been any different for you as you have grown up? Because you have grown up at a different time, of course. So how has the city changed? How have you seen the city change, and what has it brought into your very being?
I think what she said is so well expressed, because I never thought of it like that safety is actually what cushions us to dream. And it's a privilege to even be able to dream. And I always believe that every land has its own energy, its own karma, its own draw. Around the world, right? There are certain places where there are just certain kind of stories that thrive. And I think maybe it's just coming from a bent of mind of a storyteller. When you go out, everywhere you look, there's a story that you're going to see. And Mumbai is that place which really cushions you and allows you to thrive, to dream, to grow. Not just for the people who are born and brought up there. We're very fortunate, and trust me, sometimes we may take it for granted, but I don't when I see how people come from other places and
Quite true, yeah.
and they kind of step by step build. But वो जो कहता है ना कि कोई भूखा नहीं सोता, I truly believe that, and I'm so grateful to Mumbai, and I'm very happy to be Mumbai Chimulgi.
I think Mumbaikars, we need to... see, I didn't even have to complete my sentence, and there was this round of applause. Both of you are very, very deeply rooted in this Marathi culture and cinema, of course. How do you see the Marathi film industry today? There seems to be this big new wave of innovation, storytelling. You have transcended your journey from being an actor to now a director and a screenwriter. How do you see the difference, Renuka ji, and what do you think is bringing about this evolution?
I think that, we've always had a history of very strong literators in Marathi, playwrights. Our theatre scene is so important to us. There was a time when there were Sangeet Nataks, which was seen the whole night. You had 40 encores for songs, and so that's the history that has been passed on. We have a history of great singers, classical singers and classical dancers. So I think that all in all, this creates a culture where people are thirsty for something new, for some innovation in form, content. They are open-minded enough to accept a variety of stories. So I think that the theatre scene has cultivated the audience the way film festivals all across the world have cultivated audiences for different kinds of films that push the envelope. So I think that is a huge advantage for people born and brought up in Maharashtra, because we have that in our blood. And apart from not just this, but even our saints and the kind of literature that they have written, which is something that is carried on through generations, through just maukhik traditions, oral. You don't have to be literate to, sing their abhangs. So I think all of this collectively has given that, power to the audience to expect something new, to expect that glass ceilings will be broken.
Has it become more fearless, the whole idea of the storytelling, the way the narratives are being done? Has it become more compelling, more fearless?
I think once you get, you take care of the economics of it. Yes. I think unfortunately Marathi films especially are governed by the economics of it. If you go beyond that, and then, of course, you can be completely free with your thought and your content. But right now, it's very difficult for any producer to kind of sit on a winged horse and kind of, just fly off into the sunset, unless he's going to get his money back. So I think that is a huge issue for us, because distribution, everything, we are in direct competition with the Hindi cinema, which is a behemoth. So it's very tough. And yet we are trying to do that with content, because that's where we can, kind of tell very rooted stories, and which might not maybe, require that much amount of money perhaps. But that's the way one has to go, You have to tell your story, in whatever way.
Absolutely. Shriya, tell me, you have gone all out with this OTT genre. How has that been a game changer? You have embraced it beautifully, and shows like Mirzapur, Guilty Minds, and of course now Mandala Murders. Why did you choose, and my question to you, especially because you come from a film family, right? Why did you choose to take this path? Was it more of creative freedom that the OTT as a platform offers you? Or, I mean, how does it work?
Well, even though my parents are such wonderful, inspiring actors with such an immense body of work, my journey as an actor has never come from an entitled space. And I've actually seen them work hard, put in that effort, and really focus on the quality of work. So they're in this for the craft, the passion, and not just for the sake of it. Therefore, because I came into it with that mindset, for me, what stories I'm part of is a very important factor. Interestingly, my first film was a Marathi film. Very organically after that, I ended up doing a French film. And then I did Fan opposite the wonderful SRK. But it was Mirzapur and the advent of OTT. Mirzapur was one of the early birds. The success of that show is what actually gave momentum to my career. And I'll tell you what's happened with OTT. Yes, right now, of course, it's a cluttered space. But the streaming platforms gave opportunities not just to actors, but to technicians, to writers, to so many people. And it kind of allowed people to explore different stories. In films, often because of the virtue of the time limit, you may not always get that much scope to perform. So for me, the reason why I have comparatively done more work on OTT is just because the quality of the work has been amazing, right? So for me, it was not that for my ego, I want to say, no, I'll just do films, because I believe that you have to be stubborn about your dream, but be flexible about the plan. Yeah. Today, if I'm called here, oh, wow, I didn't know. Okay, I'm going to say that again elsewhere. I do think that today the work and the opportunities I've got, especially with the kind of women I've been able to play on screen, whether it's Kashav Kaze in Guilty Minds or in Mandala Murders, Rukmini, I don't know if I would have got those opportunities. However, now I think it's important to maintain that balance, because this industry is quick to box you. So you have to maintain the balance. So now I'm a little bit more focused on films.
So how has the work culture changed over these years? You have...
Oh my.
Has it... do you... And I'm talking especially for women. Do you still... Is there sexism on the sets? Wow.
Pay parity, yes.
Well, a big hand to... for accepting that.
Of course.
Yeah. Of
So
course
have you had
a
any...
bit less, but definitely. It's become less ageist, I must say.
Yeah.
I'm at an age where I can talk about that.
Right.
So, yeah. And as I think Palki just said, that if you're just asked to smile in a room full of men, you shouldn't. You should use your voice. And that's what one tries to do at each and every time. Yeah. And one is faced with, men who get away with a lot. I mean, they are considered heroes, and they're considered achievers if they are angry, or if they are... But anger from women are still considered a big no-no. She's very difficult to work with. She asks too many questions, and if a man is asking the questions, he has so much drive. He wants to get to the bottom of the character. Well, that's exactly what we are trying to do. We are in the same job. So these things still exist, but you have to keep making your move. And I think that I use my smile as well as my voice.
And a lot has changed for the better also. You are so right. A lot has changed for the better as well. Like, for example, today you'll have women in their 50s also headlining shows. Absolutely. In their 60s, you're seeing love stories of women in the 50s who are, of a certain age bracket. This whole idea of there's only a certain peak for an actress is changing. And that's also because you have a lot of... female writers, directors like herself who are also coming and making that change. So while there's been a lot of positive progress, some battles like the pay parity, they still very much persist.
They persist.
Absolutely.
I have to say, I didn't face that when I did television, because television is ruled by women.
That's true. Television is not applicable.
Television, the poor men are just standing in the background And if they're given a line or two, it's a great thing. I think anybody who sees television would agree with me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was part of television at a time when really it was the best, time.
Right.
And I won't be able to talk about this pay parity issue because.
But did
the
you
women
face
always,
it when you
yeah.
did films? Did you face?
Not really. I won't say that because I have been a character actor in films. That in any case, there's a huge pay parity between character actors and main actors.
Right.
But that's all part of the hierarchy. In any hierarchical situation, in any organization, you are bound to have a hierarchy. And you must accept that with grace.
Right.
But I'm saying that you have to fight for what you think you are worth. Don't
Yeah.
allow other people's to determine your worth. That's fine.
Renuka ji, you and Shriya, both of you come, you have always been very strong feminist voices. But you have also said that you come from families where you have had very, very strong support systems. You, Ashutosh sir, who himself calls himself a feminist. Your parents, your father has done shows like Tu Tu Me Me, which broke so many molds at that point and presented the Saas Bahu equation in a very, very different way. How was it? Was there any particular advice that they gave you? Is there anything that you reflect on which you say that your drive comes from them?
Oh, my drive comes from my husband, definitely, because I can, be very self-critical. And in that, sometimes I stem my own dreams because one is so self-critical. One sees other people, appreciates other people, and think that, oh, such great things are happening. I'm a nobody. That kind of thought keeps coming into my head. And my husband is the one who instills into me that passion and that drive and that support that is so needed for any creative person. And if you find that at home, I mean, there's nothing. It's like bliss, I tell you. So
This is the kind of husband I need.
Well, there's only one of mine, so...
No, I'm sure you're doing quite well yourself.
No, but what she said was so beautifully put. And the truth is that the film industry is very uncertain, right? So one big lesson that my parents have sort of always told me is that don't attach your self-worth to the outcome of your work constantly. Yeah. You have to stay in your power and your confidence and your values, and your drive needs to be honed from within rather than the constant validation that we very naturally seek for. So if you want to be relevant and keep working, you can't always be giving the power to people constantly to decide whether you're good for something or not.
Yeah.
That's such a beautiful thing to say. And on that note, I can see that our timer is off. It's been an absolute delight to be in company of these two incredibly talented, articulate, and multifaceted women. A big round of applause to Renuka Shahane and Shriya Pilgaonkar.